What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Moneybag Bry. Welcome to another episode of the Underground Night Show on Channel 401. Today, we're going to be talking about a man who had sex with a dog out in public. This is Chad Mason. If you haven't heard already, Chad Albert Mason was taken into custody on Sunday and charged with multiple crimes, including one count of sexual activity involving an animal and two counts each of exposure of sexual organs and lewd or lascivious exhibition. Court documents showed, according to a press release from the Clearwater Police Department, officers at approximately 4:03 p.m. on Sunday responded to several 911 calls regarding sexual activity involving animals after Mason was seen having sex with a dog on the 2600 block of McCullen Booth Road. In a sworn affidavit of probable cause obtained by news outlets, police wrote that Mason had taken a known individual's dog for a walk in an apartment complex when he then began to insert his penis into the dog's anus and perform a sex act. In addition to numerous adults who allegedly saw Mason perform the grotesque act, police said that a child was also among the onlookers. Mason was witnessed by several individuals, including a juvenile. The affidavit states the obscene display was only halted after one of the witnesses stepped in to stop Mason, who proceeded to flee the apartment complex, police said. Mason was confronted by an adult. He then removed his penis from the dog and took flight from the scene. The affidavit states during the investigation, Mason began to wreak havoc in the surrounding areas. Mason destroyed a nativity scene at a church, went into a neighborhood and ripped a mailbox off a resident's property and entered an unoccupied vehicle attempting to steal it. The lewd and lascivious conduct charges stem from allegations that Mason did intentionally masturbate and intentionally expose his genitals when he had sexual intercourse with a dog in the presence of a child under the age of 16 years old. Police said the nativity scene was set up in front of Northwood Presbyterian Church, where Mason also allegedly shattered several of the church's potted planters, causing an estimated $400 worth of damage. In addition to the aforementioned charges, Mason is also facing one count of criminal mischief to a place of worship. Officers quickly located Mason and took him into custody shortly after he left the grounds. Mason was transported and booked into a Pinellas County jail. He was released on bond and is scheduled to appear in court again next week. Wow, that is crazy. I can't even imagine like this happening to one of my dogs, this being one of my friends, someone that I know, doing this to another dog, another animal in general. I can't imagine what his friend, a family, auntie, whoever picked them up, was thinking when they went up and they told him this would happen. I'm sure though they must have had like some type of idea that he was into these to this sort of thing because it's just like I mean who knows because sometimes you have it's like you know I mean he's obviously a animal molester, pedophile, just like there's child molesters and things like and people like that. And so I'm sure he must have showed some signs. If not, I mean, he's obviously very good at hiding it. I feel bad for the dog. I mean, he's obviously traumatized, and hopefully they get him the dog some help, and this guy some help because he must be mentally unfit, not there all the way in the head because just one of those things that it sounds almost like a bad joke, you know, uh, where you hear someone tell you, hey, someone was having sex with a dog outside, and it's like, you hear it and it's like, get that out of here. Who's crazy enough? And it's like someone who's out of their right mind is definitely crazy enough to do something like this. And if that's the case, I hope this guy gets some help. I hope the dog gets some help. But that's it for today's show. If you have an animal, obviously, goes without saying, take care of them. I know this is not something that, as far as I know, happens too often. We'll be following this to keep you guys updated. The laws are with this. I never heard of anything like this happening. Obviously, it's a thing because he's getting in charge. But keep you updated with what's going on with this. Um, until next time, I'm your boy Moneybag Bry. This is the Underground Night Show on Channel 401. I'm out.